YouTube. Before we get to the game,
as a salespeople, we two steps ahead of everything. Think you can, you right. If you think you can't, you still right, because them your thoughts. Not by Indians, all the way to getting called the N-word, working a racist town, all the way to getting put guns, pitching me nothing. She was like, how much is it? She was like, how many bottles you got in your bag? I was like, I got 4 bottles. She was like, look, I'm gonna buy these 4 bottles on. Drove me like an hour and a half away, then they explained, like, look, we got you in protective custody because these family that, you know, this is a big y'all. And then the dude jumped off the 4-wheeler with the gun. The same dude.
Same guy.
He was like, didn't I tell you to get off my... He was like, didn't I tell you to get out of my neighborhood? And he cocked the gun back. He had like a shotgun. This time, he was like, my brother about to pull up in the... When I came back to testify...
At what?
I had to go to court, like in L.A. Like,
for what? For what they did?
Yeah, because it was like hate crime and stuff.
They arrested him. You were a witness.
And I was a witness, you know what I'm saying? So... I didn't even get a chance to testify though, because as soon as I came into the courtroom, before I even went to court, I went to use the restroom. And as I'm walking out of the restroom, so it's crazy because like this how I knew they had me like in a witness protection. You know what that is? Like,
yeah, I know what it is.
As soon as they picked me up from the airport, they took me to like Palm Springs, like in the desert. I was like an hour and a half away from court. They had me in like a bulletproof vest vehicle. They picked me up like I was a president. They had like 2 dudes with a suit on. They had like a sign as soon as I got off the airplane to my Kenny Brooks. I'm like, what the hell? And then they drove me like an hour and a half away. Then they explained like, look, we got you in protective custody because these family that, you know, this a big, like, it was basically, they made it seem like this gang was like a mafia, and they knew how I looked, they knew who I was, and they said that I really, if I basically like testify, that I can get these kids a lot of time, you know what I'm saying? Because they got a lot to attempted right, exactly. So anyway, as I'm going to the restroom, because I had to pee, when I go in the restroom, as I'm coming out, this big Indian dude, he seen me coming out. He was like, hey, you mother, and he went like this, and he started storming towards me, and I just ran out of the restroom, and I when I tell you I ran past, I'm talking about, what's crazy is that before I even used the restroom, the 2 dudes that walked me in there, one was standing on this side of the bathroom, one was standing on this side. As I'm walking out of the bathroom, this dude walked past them to threaten me. And
you walked past the 2 guys that are there to protect you.
Yeah, and then they didn't even see him. They didn't even see him. I'm talking about he was loud. They didn't even see him. They ain't very good at their job. Yeah, so I ran out of there. But I thought it was a setup. I'm trying to tell you, because you got to understand, I had flashbacks of what happened when I was on a reservation, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I ran out of the courtroom. I ran past the elevator, ran down the steps. I just kept running, and then I ended up running out of the courtroom, and then I ran like, it was like an alley, like, and I ran till I got to like a gas station. And then I ain't even run inside the gas station. I went behind the gas station. Because you know behind the gas station, they got like the dumpsters where they take out the trash and stuff. Yeah. I'm banging on the back door. I'm like, please help, please help. And then somebody came out taking out the trash, and then that's when I asked them, can I use it? I was like, somebody trying to kill me, can y'all please use the phone? Man, I'm telling you right now, this about to be like a whole, because Timberland, the music producer, I don't know if you're familiar with Timberland, he my manager. And like every time he hear this story, he's like, he don't even like me telling this story, because he's like, bro, we got to get this a Netflix special. He's like,
It
because
is a
these
special.
stories that you got,
Yeah.
bro, he was like, this is something that USA Today will love. You know what I'm saying? He's like,
Right.
because I'm telling you, he was
Dude,
like,
I'm listening to it. Like, I'd sit down and watch
no,
it.
it's crazy, but I'm telling you, like how my life was, you could tell, like, God, like, it was like it was already planned. Like how everything happened is crazy. And that's why I say the key to life and the key to being successful, you know, this is not giving up. Because everything that happened, it ain't what happened to you, it's how you handle it. Because as I'm knocking on the door, the dude come out with a garbage can, taking out the trash. I'm like, somebody trying to kill me. He grabbed the phone. He called the police. The police didn't even come. So then I said, let me use your phone again, because now I'm shaking. I'm nervous. I'm thinking,
bro.
like, I don't know if they
think they're coming.
Right.
Yeah.
So I end up calling my mom. I'm shaking and scared. I was like, Mom, you got to get me back to Detroit. I told you to set up. I didn't want to leave. Because when I took that door-to-door job, first off, I took that job when I was 18. Because I did door-to-door sales when I was 12 years old, selling Detroit News and Free Press. I did it to like 12 to 14. When my grandmother passed away when I was 18, my brother got me to travel. We took a Greyhound bus. Like, we was on a bus for 3 days. You know what I'm saying? Like, we took a Greyhound bus from Detroit all the way to California. And I told myself on that bus for 3 days, I was like, this is the brokest I'm gonna ever be. So I automatically told myself, the way I'm coming, I'm not gonna leave that way. You know what I'm saying? But it's like stuff happened in between that. You know what I mean? So I had to come back home, like, still, like, not satisfied with what I was dealing with. You know what I mean? So the thing is that when I told my mom, I was like, look, you got to get me back home. And then she was like, boy, I ain't got no money. Same thing she said when I was like 12 years old. She was like, you better call that company. Ain't that company in California? So I ended up calling the company. The company ended up sending somebody to come pick me up. But this is the craziest thing.
The company you used to work with?
Yeah,
Or the company you worked
this
with
was the
current?
company. This was a company that the ones that I quit, the one that
They came and picked you up.
they came and picked me up because this was before I went to the new company. You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
But after this happened, this when I went to the new company. But I was already it's crazy because I went viral after this. But this how it happened, because that's why I'm telling you, when you don't give up, it's crazy. But look, so they come pick me up. The manager that left me, remember the one that left me in the neighborhood? He was on the phone with the owner of the company. Because the owner of the company, basically, the company, it was like, it's called Austin Diversified Products, ADP. We used to say ADP, yeah, all dark people, another damn peddler. We used to sell people. But he had like different distributors. He had like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can go to California. He got a team in California. He got another team. Because he wasn't the problem. It was the management that he had.
Correct.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so I was like, I'm going to just go work for you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So anyway, he told me on the phone, he said, look, I'm sorry what you're dealing with, everything. He said, look, I could do one or two things. Like, because you is the top salesperson. He was like, I just found you a flight for like $600. He was like, but it leave tonight. He said, I can pay half of your flight and you can go out and you can knock. I can have them put you in like a rich neighborhood in California, like Beverly Hills, Bel Air, or Calabasas, where you safe. You know what I mean? You could just make some money. You could use your commission to pay for the rest of your ticket, or we could drop you off right now at the Greyhound. The Greyhound is like $200, but you just got to stay there for like 6 or 7 hours, and we would just pay for that flight. And he was like, so what you want to do? So me, I'm like, I'm not about to stay in no Greyhound for no 6-7 hours, and then they end up finding.
People are looking for you.
I was like, I'd rather do something productive while there's time going. You know what I mean? Because one thing my grandmother taught me, no guts, no glory. You know what I'm saying? This God's plan. Before Drake made that song, I'm looking at like whatever happened supposed to happen anyway. So I said, look, just drop me off, no guts, no glory. He dropped me off. That was like the best decision I made in my life, because that one decision. That's why I say we all one decision from being a successful or being a failure. You know what I'm saying? Because I could have easily said, no, I'm gonna go. You know what I mean? I made that one decision. He dropped me off, and like, I don't even know. It was like I forgot the area, but I was knocking for like a whole hour and a half. And I was getting my head beat in mentally because I wasn't happy. I wasn't the Kenny Brooks that people see me on the video. I'm still thinking about, you know what I mean? Like,
dude trying to kill you
happened.
in life.
So I end up praying, you know what I mean? I just said a prayer because they was slamming the door. They was beating me up mentally, and I quit like 3 times that day. Like, I quit, like, I just kept going on the corner quitting. And then just one time I just said a prayer like, please, Lord, just give me the peace of mind to just fake it till I make it. I said something powerful. The next door, this is why I know God working mysterious ways, because the next door I knocked on, this dude come out, like older, like middle class dude, he like 45, 50 years old, and He was a white guy, and he was rich though. He had like super money, but he came out real happy. Like I never had a customer like this in my life. You know, usually you get them customers that be like, "What do you want? Get off my property." No, I don't want to buy.
They're gonna hide it because you're gonna take something from them.
He came out like a duck. Like he just wanted to. He was like curious, like George. Oh, what are you selling? How your day going? You know what I'm saying? I'm looking like, what the hell? I ain't never ran it. I thought like.
The setup.
I was like, yeah. So I ended up pitching him. He ended up buying like 2 bottles, and then he let me come in his house because he's like, look, I got this hard water on my shower. If we clean this hard water, I'm gonna buy it. So as I'm going in his house, I see he got pictures with like Magic Johnson, Kobe, Shaq, Nick Van. He got pictures with old Lakers and new. I'm like, dang, you work with the Lakers? He's like, yeah, I'm the Laker doctor. You know, like when they tear their ACL or their MRI. He said he been the Lakers doctor for like 20-something years. You know what I'm saying? He was telling me stories about Jeannie Buss and the owner of the Lakers, the one that passed away, the dad. You know what I'm saying? And anyway, to make a long story short, he ended up buying 2 bottles when I cleaned the hard water. He was like, because he liked my personality. He knew I was funny. He was like, you ever thought about doing stand-up comedy? I was like, yeah. I was like, this is a vehicle that's driving me to my success. Because really, when I got into door-to-door sales, remember I told you, like in sales, you got to have goals. Like one of my goals is like, I want to save money to pay for acting classes. Because one thing I did, I really, like, that's why I use comedy with closing and sales. Because my, somebody told me, I don't know if it was like either Rodney Dangerfield or Jerry Seinfeld or Jamie Foxx, one of them went door to door and they said if you can go to someone's door that you never met before and make them laugh with your sense of humor, you'll never be afraid to perform in front of an audience, because it's like a confidence builder. So I always looked at it like, as I'm learning myself. I'm learning how to make myself happy, building myself up. Rodney Dangerfield or Jerry Seinfeld or Jamie Foxx, one of them went door to door and they said if you can go to someone's door that you never met before and make them laugh with your sense of humor, you'll never be afraid to perform in front of an audience, because it's like a confidence builder. So I always looked at it like, as I'm learning myself. I'm learning how to make myself happy, building myself up to have, like, you know, self-esteem at a high level, so that way if I do get booed or I do get on stage, if I'm dealing with people that's, you know, I'm dealing with the smartest people in the world, it'd be a piece of cake to make an audience laugh. You get what I'm saying? So anyway, to make a long story short, when I told him that, he said, you know, Jamie Foxx stay across the street, right? I'm like, what? So I'm talking about all of this happened, and like, I'm talking about I went from getting kidnapped,
hiding behind a gas station,
yeah, to having to being in the neighborhood, selling a Laker doctor, to going. So I seen a gate. As soon as he showed me what he said, I ran over there to the gate. He had, like, his gate was closed. But the next house is like, I don't know if you saw my original video. Video where I was with the white couple, I clinked the little plant face. That was happening too. That's right next door to Jamie Foxx. So anyway, what's crazy is that I went to the gate. The gate was like, you know, I rung the buzzer, nobody answered. I'm going to the next house. The next house is the video that you've seen, like the super viral video that had like 300 million views. As I'm going to that house, I'm like in front of the house now. I see a brown two-tone Maybach pulling in the gate. So I'm running back to the house, but as I'm getting to the gate ended up closing. But like when my body he had one of those sensor gates. Like once your body get close, the gate start opening back up. So I'm looking at like I'm in a gate now. I'm walking in. I'm thinking back in my head like, oh, I'm about to sell Jamie Foxx. So as I'm walking up, the gate opening up, I see his camera start moving. So he started talking on the intercom. He was like, wait, what are you doing? No trespassing. Get out of here. No trespassing. I was like, COD. He was like, all right, 1 second, bag up. So I bagged up and he closed the gate. So he pulled in his garage and then he came back out like 5 minutes later, like on a golf cart.
Jamie Foxx did.
Yeah, he on a golf cart. Like he driving up on a golf cart. So like as he getting closer and closer, like, I'm cause I ain't know if it was really him. I didn't know who I was talking to because I couldn't tell from his voice. But as he getting closer and closer, it was Jamie Foxx. I'm like, damn, this is really Jamie Foxx. So as he get close, like right here, he see like my spray bottle. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, wait, you trying to sell me something? He's like, no, I thought you said no trust. He's like, I thought you said COD. I was like, yeah, come on down. And then he started busting out laughing. He was like, not only is you funny looking. Then he started talking about my teeth. He was like, boy, with that grill, I bet you sneeze, you could bite a hole in your chest. I remember this like yesterday. That was his line. And then I started talking about his ears. I was like, dang, man, all that money you got, them little earrings. Your earrings look like sugar. And then he started busting out laughing. Then he was like, you know what, I like you. He was like, get in. Then he had me drive on the passenger side of his golf cart. Then he just started giving me like a tour of his house, and he just started telling me stories how he used to be a shoe salesman. He used to go door to door, and he told me like how his real name ain't Jamie. He used to, like he said, he used to go door to door in the daytime. He used to go to open mics at night. He said every time he used to go to open mics, they used to always pick the girls before the guy comedians. And he said one day he went to a comedy store and he wrote down Jamie Foxx because they thought they was gonna pick a girl because they picked the girls first. And he said that's when he came out as Wanda. Remember, I don't know if you've ever seen him, that little lid. And then, man, I just started crying when I couldn't even believe. I'm sitting up here watching this dude I used to watch on TV. You know what I'm saying? And he just sharing this with me. And he was like, bro, you got it. He's like, you got the person. He's like, just don't give up. And I was like, bro, it's crazy because like right before I knocked on your door, I had just got kidnapped by some Indians like a couple months ago, and they tried to kidnap me today. Like they tried. He was like, what? Some Indian? He was like, you was at 7-Eleven, yeah. So then, like he got personality, but like it's crazy because like you know that movie The Django?
Yeah.
He wasn't even supposed to be at home. He had left his script to the movie at home, and he was coming back on his break to get the script, and he ended up catching me. So that was like God. That was, you know what I'm saying? And then he was like, look, he's like, man, you on your way. He's like, just keep going, don't give up. And he ended up buying like 2 bottles. We took like a picture, and then I went to the next house, and then that's when I seen a lady come out with a camcorder, like a real camera. And I was like, I'm gonna be quick like that, so you get it like Michael Jackson. That's why your neighbor started remember. You know what I'm saying? And that's how that happened. But all this time, I'm thinking that Jamie Foxx called his neighbor. You know what's crazy? The lady called Jamie Foxx. She thought I was breaking in people's houses. And Jamie Foxx was like, nah, this dude, he's a up-and-coming comedian. He's really funny. You should listen to him. And she came out with her camcorder and recorded me because she thought if I was doing anything negative, she had me on footage of the police. You know what I'm saying? And that's how that happened. And after that, my whole life changed just off of that one moment. So yeah.
Well, first of all, that's a lot. It's an unbelievable story.
Yeah.
Unbelievable lot. But also, like, I think what I always liked about salespeople that are good at training, well, you said a lot of things earlier. I tell people all the time, if you work at a company where nobody's done what they're asking you to do, you have to quit. So if your company, if nobody's done what they're asking you to do, and they're telling you what to do, you need to quit. Find other companies. There's companies out there that can do that, right?
Facts.
And also, like, I'm gonna hook you up with some speaking engagements. There's no doubt about it. Like, you'll kill it. But what I love about it is, no matter where I worked at, when I got really good at sales, I was like, dude, anybody can do this. Matter of fact, a guy that used to say to me, can you stop saying that? And I'm like, why? He's like, because they can't. I'm like, dude, that's the problem.
Yeah.
A lot of good salespeople are so full of themselves because their self-image is so low. Yeah. So they go like, these are the magical things I do. You're like, dude, if you are willing to do the things I tell you, you can be successful. If you're not, you're not.
No,
I mean, but if you're willing to do it, because the reality is they don't have to be as funny as you, but they have to learn a way to find a way to connect, right?
Yeah.
So, what are you doing now? You're obviously an unbelievable sales guy. You're all over social media. What's the last speaking engagement you had?
Just like 3 days ago in Vegas.
Got
I
it.
did so this was this speaking. So I do different speak. I do a lot of sales company.
Yeah.
Like it based like right now. After I leave here, I'm gonna be here probably like 2 days. Cause Caesar, he said he got like 2 people that's trying to book me to speak like in Miami. So I'm gonna be here like probably like today and tomorrow. But then I'm going to Salt Lake City, Utah, because it's called, they got like door-to-door con, they got roof con, they got solar con.
okay.
They all go door-to-door, and they just booked me to do like a speaking, but also I'm teaching people how to monetize social media, because I make like a lot of money on social media. I got like 2.6 million on TikTok, I got like 1.2 on Instagram. So like I get booked a lot, but mainly I get booked to like just show people how to make money and just be themselves, you know what I'm saying? Because I started off as a salesman, and I went from like, I turned to $20 bottle. I was only getting $20 bottle, like that cleaning product. I was making, the cleaner was $40. I only made $20.
So you had one bottle was $20.
Yeah, but I turned a $20.
$20.
Yeah, I turned a $20 bottle to making $800,000 in a year. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it ain't like I had to sell a lot. You know what I mean? That's why I say like how you said that the same way. I was the first one to get out the vehicle, and I was the last one to get picked up. I got to sell at 1:30 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Because I was stronger than the Holy Ghost mentally. Because I knew my purpose and my why. I said, look, if I'm selling this little
Open-hearted session, and the sessioning is spelled wrong. I ain't gonna lie. Look, I'm gonna spell it out to y'all right now. Y'all know how to spell open-hearted. Y'all know how to spell open, probably not hearted. Hearted. And then the way that I spell sessioning was SESHIONING. Subscribe, check out that channel, do what y'all wanna do. That's where I'm gonna be at. Feel me? Not live, but in the video. Check it out.